Very few breakthroughs come without a few breakdowns along the way. While our spiritual and emotional shifts do bring us closer to our best selves, I also believe that they simultaneously move us away from the spaces in which we may have been comfortably living in before. Today's episode is one of a kind, inspired by my very own guest, who, after listening to the relationship perspective from a single person, she sent me a text and she was like, how about we talk about this? I feel the strong need to talk about this topic. And I was like, of course. I mean, it perfectly fits on the relationship episode season that I'm actually busy with. So, yeah. I really hope that you will receive this message the same way that I received it. This is actually one of the longest podcasts I've ever recorded, and I think it just got to me that, you know what, I don't want to limit people with stories that they want to tell. And I was like, let's go for it. I was actually supposed to divide it to part 1 and part 2, but I realized that it wasn't really going to make sense. And I was like, let me just put it out there just the way it is. You can listen to it in bits and pieces, or you can just dedicate a whole hour into listening to it. I must say that the sound isn't the very best, but please, I tried. I really tried. I'd like to send a special shout out and a special thank you to the owner of the place where we recorded this specific podcast. Thank you for your kindness and thank you for letting us to use your space. To all our listeners, let me catch you on the other side of the show and let us continue to unbecome to become. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Unbecoming to Become with me, Eunice Themba. Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Morning.
My visitors, guys, they're not even giving me a chance. You know, I usually say good morning because I want the morning joy to stay with you all day long. Today we are talking something or rather very deep. It had to take some convincing for me to actually agree to do this. It's a topic that has been following me for so long and I just kept running away from it, and today I guess I found the courage to finally sit down and do it. I am not alone. I'm actually joined by two wonderful ladies. Let me just get straight into the introduction. I am joined by Tlotlo Thoane. She is a self-proclaimed Motswana girl. She's a young lady who, before everything, she is very passionate about her education. A model who specializes in fashion, pageantry, and commercials. She was the face of Jet Stores representing Heritage Month. An athletic, an actress who has also appeared on local soapies like The River, Rhythm City, and Mobango. She has always excelled in arts. On the other hand, I am joined by Andiswa Njoli. I almost said Danke, but we're going to get to that later on. Now, here's an interesting story. When I was doing grade 9, I think she was doing matric. She was just one of those that I looked up to, and I was like, one day, now I'm going to be best friends with Mr. Khan. May his soul rest in peace. She was just one of those very inspiring human beings. I remember having these conversations with my friends. I was like, as one day, now I'm going to fade with my principal, and it did actually get to that point. What I'm trying to say is that life is very beautiful. Had somebody told me 5 years ago that I was actually going to sit down and have such conversations with her, I wouldn't have believed it. But here we are. I guess it is true when they say that once you think about something, it is truly within the grab of your hands. Above all, she is a new mom, an engineer. She strongly believes she's a nice person. And one nice thing that I love about her from our short conversation is how very private she is about her life. Something that we do not really take into account lately because we feel the need to put our lives out there as if we owe people everything that we go through, where else that's not even the case. Now, before I waste any more time, let me just get straight into it. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to the show.
Morning again. Again.
I like good morning
Good morning.
No, like y'all understand or Gamorata good morning.
Yeah.
I'm in touch with this whole good morning thing. We spend our lives kicking the crap out of ourselves for not being this way, that way, not having this or that, not being able to be like this person or that person, for not living up to the same standards that we think apply across all the board for all of us. We spend our lives trying to follow the same path, living by the same rules. And by saying that, I am going to introduce our topic. Oh, me God, me help. It is a very deep. We are talking a parental adultery. Like I said before, I've been running away from this topic, but hey, it caught up with me today. Since I've been busy with the relationship topic, I thought it would be fit enough to also link this up, because at the end of it all, it is still part of our lives and it is still part of relationships, something that we grow up witnessing every day, and regardless of how we run away from it, at the end of it all, we need some people who are going to actually sit down and be like, hey, what are we doing with this? Interesting enough, yesterday I met up with Tlotlo and we had our conversations as usual, our ice cream date, and you actually said something that struck me, and I was like, I definitely need to put this up. You said you saw a post on Facebook about the Umakotingo Wetu song, and you said what you don't realize is that some wedding songs are very, very oppressive. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, I related so much to that post, and I realized a lot of men didn't see anything wrong with the song, because African men in general have some entitlement to women. The only people that had problems with this song merely were women, because honestly we are the only people that go through like the most. We go through the most our entire lives. We go through the most in our homes. We go through the most when we are with our in-laws, trying to be perfect, trying to satisfy them deep down, knowing, no, these things are not right. So the song, Oh My God, Tingo Wetu, the first, the person who wrote this post was like, first sentence nje, yapina wrong. Ngowethu is just wrong. Ngowethu, how if I am yours? When you decide to get married, when you ask for my hand in marriage, unyala nafela. And all of a sudden, when we're married, I am everyone's. I belong to everyone. What happened to just being the two of us? What happened to us committing and declaring our love to God, just the two of us? I think that's where the confusion starts, or where marriages go wrong. Because Mara, after all of a sudden we belong to everyone, you know? And we belong to everyone in a sense of, like, an employee, your opinion doesn't even matter. What happened to just doing things for your person and letting that person doing things for you? So African women, we are expected to be superwomen. We are expected to just do everything for everyone, and not even being asked to do it. It is more like a request. It is more like something that you have to do. So Ngowethu, I really do not.
And you know what, I liked what you said.
Ngowethu,
when you have to come and cook
when
for
you have
us.
to come to cook for us.
Ngowethu, when you have to come and do
slaver.
the laundry.
That's
right.
it.
They might not even.
But Ngowethu, when your man abuses you in front of them. When your man just trash talks you in front of family because family and you want to be the perfect makoti who respects and, you know, respects the family, respects the husband. As African people, all the elders, all the married elders, like that's what I'm saying. The wedding songs, the oppressive, with burdens.
Already you're
You know, monna ha ba tliwe pay sleepy. What the hell? Ha ba tliwe pay sleepy? Re tlo ja jwang? Re tlo manage jwang di-finance? How are we gonna know what we're working with if ha botse pay sleepy? Monna ha botse gore o tswa kae? Le ha ka tla ka nako whatever. Wena motholele, mo apele. Like if someone wants a maid, hire a maid. If someone wants honestly, I'm not saying I'm against marriage, but I'm against the principles of marriage.
which are actually very wrong.
Which are
Said by
very,
our culture.
very, very, very wrong. Bo khutella, bo no. Uzozwashela, usiphekela. For what? They must find a maid. They must find a chef if they want it to be pegelad by everyone. You get me? So I feel like we're oppressed from day one. Wanyalo mole, hubela wena fela, hore muna la ka cheat ba mo forgive mo. How bathong le papa God play into the snacks hadietse. So I feel like re kena go lenyalong ka ntho tse wrong, and because the elder are the ones that enforced such bad advice
Rules
and rules, men bite as they please. Because I get it, like mama how abua, whether it's wrong or right, ke mama wa mo respect na. So but they will live by snacks because the elders said, and I can do as I please, because this is how it operates ka culture ya bona. So we are doomed. We are doomed for days, for centuries even. We are doomed.
But I think we need to become a generation that changes everything.
Exactly.
You know? I think at this point, we're growing up. You know, I have a kid now, so I feel so grown up. Excuse me. I feel like we need to change this when it comes to our kids.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't teach our children the same principle. That rather say change hamolao. As long as you teach your child how to respect, I think there's so many things that need to change, and we need to start with us now in our marriages.
True.
and change all of those things.
Change
And you
all
know
of those
something that is
things.
coming to mind right now? After getting married, that maybe yokotiza.
You
It's
know,
like they need to test if you're like,
Initiation of
But
You are the right makoti.
you know, the power of education is something else.
True.
If you educated, you know, not only at school but financially educated, I think you'll receive your breakthrough. Because if you're with a man now and he's still living at home and he says he wants to marry you, you're entitled to tell him that there can't be two women in one house. That's one
yes.
So you'll have to find a place for us to stay, and we'll go and move in there. So it's much more better because you go you know, you'll take care of him where you have your own laws. Because at the end of the day, I'll make an example. You guys are married, you move in and you're working.
right.
You work, you come back, you're tired. According to you, you could just make something nice, something light, you know.
True.
But and now what papa? And then Mama Zala
And you've grown eating papa.
Yo. Mama Zala paile papa today. Okay, cook for us, then we eat. And then Mama Zala the whole weekend she's expecting you over weekend that you don't have plans, you have to clean, you have to do the laundry, you have to do because you're working class. So in the olden days, maybe women didn't work, you know. Maybe they could just work on you, but now you have your own way, you have your own things. I think, and it has nothing to do with respect. If you're a respectful person, you can always respect anyone else. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't compromise yourself because of marriage.
You shouldn't. I feel like the problem with like women, we are told not to speak our minds. We are forced not to say what we feel, and we only say things hasegutwi. You get me? You live your life hoping and praying it will be better, but forgetting for communication honestly is everything. You need to let someone know, look here, my guy, this is not on. So if ototsi unagana gore ntho tsa di etsang di right, you get me?
Right.
So voice out your thoughts, be vocal about how you feel. Let them know we are partners, we're not boss, and me and you must communicate. You must come and understand. The challenge is getting a person who can stoop to your level. You must be on the same level. The other one mustn't be above you or feel like they're above you. Be humble, speak like grown-ups, understand where the other one is coming from, understand where I'm coming from, and then come with a conclusion and an agreement on the things that we want to. At the end of the day, union ke ya rona. The problem happen go era batho ba ngata. Re ngetse re le tshuma re na le entourage. Entourage happen ke no problem because now re ngetse mara everyone is just telling us how to run our lives. Everyone is just telling us, well, when are you having a baby? But they'll never ask you, when are you getting her a house before you want to marry her? Or where umolombola ning or umrekena ning
Yes.
That's the problem again. We are told by other people externally on how our lives should go. Like your life runs or you're living for them. You get me? Just because you must wonder them forever. And mostly African kids, they suffer because of all this thing, because you've been taking care of them. It's your duty to take care of them their entire lives. So whether you must have a set mind for okay, it's that for me. Now these people are my responsibility. Understand? And you must tell your mom. Men have this thing of not telling their parents because they feel like disrespect. No, I won't be able to do. I have a family of my own now. You get me? And they come first. That's it.
I didn't want to cut you short because wow. Labua, but Jesus. Hey, Nyakuluma.
Yes.
Now getting us straight into the topic. For many years, our fathers have given us their ailing side, whilst their good health was for the outer world. A man would abandon his family for 2 decades and come back when he's left with a few weeks to live. With the statement, I wanted to die where my wife and children could see me. Goodness, how deep is that? And we never have such conversations.
Yep.
And these conversations, they're taking Noguti very sensitive.
Yeah.
But hey, we're actually getting to that point and we don't want to repeat the same mistakes. Hence, it's then, oh my goodness, the man denied his offsprings, his time, his good health, his protection, and all things a father would provide, and saw the need to award them with his deteriorating health, with the meaningless I love yous. Now Aram Skepsel is back. Aram Skepsel is back and children should now acknowledge his existence. Our fathers actually see nothing wrong as they continue with this vicious cycle. And they continue to deter our well-being because as they're doing these things, Eunice, Tlotlo, and you come and meet up with your friends like, and at the end of the day, that really does denter your well-being, your self-confidence. Their behavior has done nothing but bring anger and misery to many of us. We are broken, but we hold it together as we smile to the world that they don't see our pain. Our mothers have kept it together for us, and I feel like our mothers go through it all more than anyone else. Because space. And it's cutting short, but hambile just because it's like now you belong to them, so you should begezela whatever that your man gives to you. So that's the beta depth of our topic today. I just wanted to start it on a lighter note, but I feel like it's only fair we get deep into it. Girlfriends, your thoughts?
Okay, it's deep. Eh? It's actually deeper than you actually think. Like you said, Hore. I saw something happen online saying, Hore, some guy saying, Hore, a girl, you belong to them. When did marriage start becoming entitlement, ownership? How regular sofa? Yes, we get it. But am I really like a possession that much? You get me? So the person in the sense of okay, own. But then you build a family, have kids, and then they walk out of the very same people. You get me? They walk out on such people, and then they expect the person to be strong enough to raise these kids. While when you walk out on things that you own and expect them to still be crystal and grow up and blossom into these beautiful people in this world. When you didn't have a hand in making sure it stays and grows nicely. So was maintained. So why is it that you feel like you own something and then you just throw it in the garbage, and then years later and then we feel because that's all we are. We go around waiting and have nothing to do with our lives but wait for muthu a decide decades later it's a majwang. You get me? So I'm saying I don't know, I really don't know because all I've seen is people barona because I don't really have like full view on but I don't know if black people are scarred. I don't know if we're just over. Mara, people are just scarring moms. People are just scarring kids. And the other day I was asking myself, online, where is the problem? We are so quick at judging generation yaron. Everything is just so bad. Because fathers these days, like as soon as the baby is gone, boom, the baby is born, the guy is gone. They feel like they want out. But things don't just happen. There's all these statistics. Things don't just happen. Things happen because before. What is the problem? Is it because people are afraid? Is it because people don't have guidance? Is it because people just don't know what to do? Because as black people, as black kids, we don't really have a say in things that happen in our parents' lives. Papa how to Mama how will never really explain. You make your own conclusions. You're like, oh, okay, he left. You're probably not good enough. You make your own conclusions as a kid. You know? Listen, this is what's happening. They're trying to protect the image you have a father because the moms are hopeful he'll come to his senses. You get me? So I don't know we are afraid of commitment, or we are lashing our kids because it's what our fathers did to us. And so maybe whenever early, because they feel like my father left and never explained, and he came back and we still accepted him, so maybe I can do the same and things will still be okay. You get me? So I'm not understanding where the problem really is, because people are hababu, you know? Hababu.
But
so,
you know,
I don't know.
I think problem, from my perspective, I think our problem is Kitchele. And I'll explain this. Kitchele. Why is it so easy for some things and then from generation to generation and then people say culture. Why is it so easy to let go of such things? To put an example, and a very small one. Let's say after 6.
Yeah.
clear water ba tswala ka 9 ka Friday. Nna ke go Pick n Pay, ke tlo reka letswana. Get example, you know, I'm doing my groceries and I don't have time tomorrow. Erike go clear water, Pick n Pay tswala ka 9 on Fridays, ke reka letswana. I can't buy letswana after 9. It's easy to leave that. But you know why is it so difficult to leave this cheating stigma and whatnot? Ke lobola. Khale, probably lobola was about 2,000 rands. Ne? And it was easy to go back home because it's still 2,000. But now, how do your uncle say it's about 40,000? And then the men start spending 40K for mahadi like konsa lobola. And then after lobola, you guys need to wear something for that day, and then you guys need to have your wedding. And then this costs around 200K.
There's still food involved.
There's food,
and you
yeah.
can't do lobola for 1 day.
Yes,
It has to be 2 or 3 days.
Exactly. So now you spend over 200,000 on a woman. You feel entitled. This is what I do to it. Why our parents that thing from generation to generation? Why did their mothers and their grandmothers didn't do the same? How is it so easy for us for this tradition ever feeling you from Kyle? No clip of yeah, no clip of you know, because culture. It affects your children, it affects their children, it affects your whole generation. That's what the problem is. The problem is money at this point.
So we are staying
because of the amount. I have a relative, my stepdad. Her wedding was beautiful. Never saw a makeup pens, never saw a helicopter.
Okay.
Get divorced. Because she knew, okay, what does she want? She wasn't going to stay because that man is rich, but don't treat her like crap, you know. And she's now the talk of the village. Every time they're like, helicopter. We don't know how much she spent that day, but they spent a lot of money. So I think if we treated these lobola negotiations as
a private,
they always say they're combining two families.
Oh yeah, true.
I don't think why should we combine two families and spend over 200K or over 100K?
Like combining
yeah,
families.
and I believe 80% or 90% that's a loan for that. You know,
yeah.
Then you go home, you learn not together, and he's in debt. And we're not yeah. And I bond to 4.5 for 20 years. Yeah, mokas. And that's not what you expected for yourself, you know. But circumstances are circumstances. You need to work with it. So I believe if there are things from generation to generation, why is this one such a big thing? Because this one is affecting our whole lives.
It is, and how opinion about you being disrespectful, you're questioning our ways. It's about cancer. Don't talk about customer and you're like,
and when things are not going well, you're like, ish,
you know.
so maybe can you know. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with our families, I think both families, because they always say culture, but this culture, I'm not saying you must throw away your roots, you know. You need to know who you are, but I believe that even God, we compromise, you know.
How feel you can't take it anymore.
Exactly.
Behave because this is what your family wants.
Exactly.
Because
I know things are expensive now, but I believe you know what? I think maybe every girl has a dream wedding. I do. Every girl has a dream wedding, but I believe you can have anything that you want, but also compromise. You know, I can't be affected by something for 5 years.
Yeah.
Or 10 years, you know. Some
even
people
more.
don't
Some
even recover.
People for like 25 years.
People don't recover. Some people don't even recover, and then commit suicide or starting like a mad person. And they're like, yeah, that one is very educated.
And we have a whole lot of those, Mukas.
Exactly.
We have a whole lot of
you know what I mean? So
being You wanted to say something? Being traditional is not traditional anymore, and that's what I'm getting from my guest today. It's funny that we still think of it that way. We normalize our lives as people. You don't want a baby, then don't have one. You don't want to get married, rather not get married at all and still be happy with your life. You want to live alone, do it and embrace it. You want to love someone, do it and don't explain yourself to anybody. Do not apologize. Don't even feel less of that. And now coming back, I don't want us to lose the touch of our topic. Why do men cheat? Because in most instances, who leave their families and come back later on, and I've seen that in so many instances, and I think I'm still yet to see that even in my home. And not that I'm like cursing or predicting, but you know, some things you just sit down and you're like analyze and you're like, there's just a huge probability. And from what I'm seeing is that it's mostly men that cheat. Why? Is it because we are not submissive enough? Is it because we do not, let's say, we are too independent for them?
But, okay, I'd like to add on that because men still cheated. We have the family gathering. Let's say back then, bonkgono ba rona ne ba se independent. Mara ha o tlhokafetse mang go tle ke ngwana ntata mogolo mang o tswang ha se a tlhokafetse. So I don't think it has to do with independence or what. No, men have been cheating since God knows when. It doesn't have to do with independent or not. No, because le bon ntata mogolo ba rona, bonkgono ba rona, they still dependent on their maybe housewife, ba raise the kids, but they still cheated because kids are always popping out of everywhere. How was the gathering or has a Ronali Willy, so Nalibana, but one Lord knows where. So I think I could say maybe Vanavakala too much. I could say,
you know,
I don't know.
I'm not being protective, but I'm being honest. It's not all men who cheat.
Yeah,
it's not all men who cheat. Let me just touch on my upbringing. Hence the surname, you feel I was Dange and I'm now Njoli, and you're like, originally I am Andiswa Njoli. Nilibele, Pelegas, Dumtos. But my Thoane is very, very fluent. I was born into a marriage. My mom was married to Andiswa Njoli. That's my dad. He passed away in 2001 when I was in grade 2. He had renal failure. He was in hospital for 6 weeks, in a coma for 4 weeks when he left us. But when my father left us, he built my mom a house. A 14. It was still a new area. Yeah. And then I changed schools. From Silverfields Primary, I went to Matlaseli Primary. It's just not so far from here. And then, I think after 3 years, I wear glasses. So there was a time I lost my spectacles at school with my school bag. I stole my. Remember, Ikerimo Yase Primary?
Yes.
State Polo.
Yeah.
So I always lost my bag. I think I lost my bag twice. The third time my mom came to school and said, is there someone stealing or what? And then, okay, I was a very active person. I used to play soccer and cricket and basketball and netball in primary. I was like everywhere.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So I'd lose my stuff because they get God knows where. But transport and then I'll suddenly lose my bag. And then when my mom came to school, I don't complain, I got bag. They're like, no, go to that teacher, he'll sort it out. That teacher met my mom and then they spoke. You know, to cut the long story short, the teacher became my stepdad. I think I was about in grade 7 now. I was in grade 7. I think they got married when I was in grade 8. And then when I got married, you know what's on a barre? So when you marry the mother, you also take the child with. And then that's how my surname got changed. Because My mom didn't really have a good history with her first in-laws because they were very abusive people, and my mom talks. My mom will tell you where to start and where to finish. She doesn't. She'd rather tell you shit, and then after that, sorry for the language, but she'd rather do that, and then after that, you guys will be cool. But you know where she is, and she knows where you are. So when I changed my surname, it was a bit more difficult because every time when I changed schools, they were like, no, we want someone Unjo, and we didn't use the same surname. So she said, you know what, let me change your surname. When you're ready, you can go back to your surname. So she changed my surname. Grade 8, when I changed schools, my dad was allowed to have authority, my stepdad, because we used the same surname, so he could switch schools up until we made the Azad deal. I came during the year in grade 9. I got transferred from that old school. I started seeing this whole parental adultery at home. I call him this man now. Sorry for that, but that's his name. It's this man, because I don't think it's worthy to be called my dad. And I'm not saying my dad was perfect when he was alive, but I knew that my dad respected my mom when he was alive. That's what I know. Not only from family members, but from people like us. They knew that, you know what, my dad and my mom were like a team. My stepdad, I think when I was in grade 7, I only found out that he had a daughter around that time, because that's when he started opening up to me. And we were very close, I don't want to lie to you. He was one of the soccer coaches at school, so any sports, he would like, if you want to go in there, go there. If you want to do this, go and do this. So it was very nice. We had a very good relationship, a very healthy one. And then up until I came back from boarding school. When I came back, we were a bit close, but I could start seeing some things. So, my mom is not treated well. Something is, Mama, are you okay? Mama, Mama is not okay. Oh, by the way, adolescent stage, we have this thing with our mothers. We're not so close anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we
all so annoying. But I know, like
that
stage, they get to know
when you get to 15, from 15 to 18, you and your mother will never be
my little
close.
sister right now.
You're like, this woman.
Yeah, you're like, this woman. What's wrong with this woman?
Yeah.
So, my dad used to be the peacemaker. Every time when I have issues, hey, Mama, so, I can have well, and then when mom comes, Manako, so, and she's like, no, it's okay, don't do that, do this, and stuff like that. So it was very nice, up until I started dating my boyfriend, which was in matric.
They've been dating, hey?
Yeah, since I was in matric. When you started dating, my stepdad had problems with my boyfriend's dad. So we're like the Romeo and Juliet without anybody getting killed or shot at. When we started dating, I think there was a time where I lost my phone, so he gave me his old phone, and then I wanted to install WhatsApp. Then I couldn't install WhatsApp because there was WhatsApp already in that phone, and WhatsApp was the new thing in 2011. From Mixit to WhatsApp. Yeah, that's when.
But it wasn't everyone. It wasn't
everyone. Yes. Because my boyfriend didn't have Mixit. He's like, no, I have WhatsApp. Let's talk on WhatsApp. And I didn't understand what's WhatsApp, but yeah, technology, So when I had to install WhatsApp, I found things in his phone, things that I can't even mention. If I mention it, you'll have your own, you wouldn't even want to be a teacher anymore.
And you know what the people would also say, and we're not here at become to judge, but to share our opinions. Yeah. But you know what people would say?
Exactly, but don't feel I didn't go ahead and steal it and say people would go
and
wait
to message and something just pop up while you're still busy.
It's God,
so I'd see the messages, I'm like, oh, okay, no, let me leave it. And then they have this thing at school, the sports thing, where they would go, because he teaches children with learners with special educational needs. So, because he teaches learners with special educational needs, sports is their first priority. Because obviously they can't do really much, So
they must be
sports
doing
first.
something
Yeah,
else.
and then after sports, then they can teach them crafts and all the other things. So he was a coach for table tennis and cricket, I think. Anyway, when he came back, every time when he came back from a trip, and it was like, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3, come with this laptop, let me show you the pictures. Hey! Now I'm looking at the pictures and like, hey, look at this teacher. Something is up.
Body language.
Yeah, body language. Then I'll start hearing them fight. And then there's another woman, then I'm thinking about, oh yeah, that picture, And then
we are quick to analyze situations.
We're
more
very
than
quick,
anyone
Yeah.
else.
So I'll be like, oh, okay, no, maybe something is going on, but hey, it's none of my business. Anyway, let me leave it like that. And then I think the fights got more and more and more. And remember now, him and I don't really have a good relationship because now I'm dating his enemy's son. Now it's getting worse because he thinks every time they're fighting that side, I'm gonna go and tell him. I don't know. Maybe he thought me and my boyfriend had nothing to talk about. We were still getting to know each other, so we had a lot to talk about. Not to talk about them, but anyway, when you have a big ego, you have a big ego. So he thought maybe everything is about him. And then you know what? It didn't affect my mom that bad, or I didn't think it affected my mom that bad. When I looked at it, I thought, my mom is just strong. My mom will get out of it, or what? But let me tell you where it hits. I don't want to deviate from the topic, but let me tell you where it hits. He used that bad relationship I had with my mother. He used it against us. So what he would do is he would go and do whatever he wants outside, and then my mom would be like, yeah, I know, I saw you were talking on your phone, you were doing this, you were doing that, you were with that woman, you were doing that. And it's like, yeah, I can't stay at home because your daughter is disrespecting me. Your daughter is with that little boy, that boy from, stuff like that.
Manipulation.
He was, and remember, I think you're studying teaching.
Right.
Psychology is very big in your modules. He has a diploma in psychology.
So he is able to
manipulate everything.
Yeah, he knows. And he can sit here and become a peacemaker, but ish.
And one thing that I've realized, even in their bad doings, they'll make your mom look like the bad person. If your dad is not able to even show up on something, like tend that it's your mom who caused the things not to be done.
Because your mom can't control you, can't control the daughter. And then if the mother's always complaining about you because you and your mother are having a bad relationship at this point, he'll be like, you see, every time I get like in this, I don't want to come back to a nagging wife, to a wife who's always complaining. I want to feel loved, I want to feel welcome, so I don't feel welcome. That's how excuses start. Hence I say cheaters are cowards. Because that's how excuses start. To a point whereby it's painful to watch, especially when you have to respect. It's
right.
and then I don't know, but I think with one of your viewers or your listeners, they will also relate that when you have a step parent, no matter how close you guys are gonna be, it will always be different. If I disrespect my mother, because she's my mother, she feel like Mano what tell. But my mom will be like, hey, papa, or But if my mother says it to my little sister, who is a stepdaughter, she'll feel like, no, I'm back because of Hake Mama. Even my little sister will be like, oh, because of her mama. But even when she knows how close she is with my mom, my mom and my little sister met when she was only 5 years old. And sometimes I'm jealous with their relationship because they have a very big bond, like they're very close. So, but I know that at times whereby my mom will be like, Lona letter in, and I'm like, this woman, I didn't do it, she did it, But my mom, she can't say when I will say, because she knows at the end of the day, no matter how innocent it is, she might take it that way. Even if she doesn't take it today. But at some point when my mom is wrong, because our parents don't apologize, but when she's wrong at that point, it's going to start picking up and saying, since Antarik so this woman khala anale problem. So I think after my mom, when my dad was busy chilling, I didn't like it, but I left it to my mom. I said, you know what? Let's have a until my dad introduced me to that woman.
Oh.
That's how bad it was. Hey, Eunice.
Where did you get the slindy now to?
It was so bad. I learned how to drive when I was 15. So I've always been around locally, get motor. And then when my dad went somewhere, he'd be like, Ish, I know I'm gonna drink. Go and drop me off there and then you go back home, stuff like that. So when it happened, when that scenario happened, I had to go drop him off. Like, he was back from that trip, the sports trip. It's every term, like, first term, second term, third term, last term, 3 weeks, 2
I
weeks,
remember going on
a week.
trips.
Yeah. With them it's long. They travel from
Wait,
PE,
can they
the
they
whole
are
country.
long or
That's
he's
what I'm
just making
asking.
it up?
Can never know. Sometimes he would say the trip might be there, but on the last week, and
Not
then
that long, 3
he
weeks
would
trip.
leave 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Prior.
Yeah, and then
I mean, until-
on the third week he would come ka Parental and
It makes
be like,
sense.
would believe it.
Mara, it's basically the whole month.
It's basically the whole month. He would leave and say, oh yeah, this sports in Zahe. I used to love this sports in Zahe. Because this sports in Zahe, it's just me, my mom,
And his peace.
and my little sister, the last born. Because his firstborn, Nadula Komafike with his grandparents. So, we cook probably 3 times a week. Because just the 3 of us and the house is clean. And then for some reason, when he's not there, Nala my mom will okay. She'll be like, no, when I know of and then I know that I have to be with my little sister. So she lives with my little sister. My boyfriend will live in the same street. So I know that, okay, when she's not there, or at that time when I leave and stuff like that. We actually it was not so much of a bad relationship, but at some point I felt like I was a burden from the old marriage. That's how that man made it look like. I'm not saying my mom was perfect. She had her own flaws. But if someone, when someone is qualified to do something, they know how to make it look like they have nothing to do with it. And I've always told my aunt, this is what he's doing, this is what he's doing. My aunt thought, I'm just overreacting. Until my aunt saw it for herself.
Like, abantu badala, they never take us seriously.
Exactly. And then you must, I just want you to picture this. This man comes to another man's house. He lives in that house for years and years. And then he does the things that he does. And then when it started Ekas. Ekas, if people knew. There's a cousin of mine, Tandu Kruva. So my cousin didn't like him for some reason. She was okay with him, and then after that, she just stopped liking him. But because when my dad goes, my cousin goes. So my cousin would see him, it's so. And then my dad would be like, no, naka no fela go spoto. And when you come, he parks his car there, go spoto, and then he disappears, and then he comes back, go spoto, And then that was an advantage for me growing up, because if I have a boyfriend thing, I know he was not home. So and then I know when my mom knocks home. It was when you were a kid, you take advantage of the situation. My little sister, who's in grade 8, she's also taking advantage of the situation. When she does something wrong, and she knows my mom is gonna kill her, she goes to my dad, and says like, oh, okay, so. But and then when he gets home, and then my mother tells her, no, motoke ngwana o tshwantse o bue le ene ngwana o mo stage so ga emile moshimane o tshwantse o sa mo gasetse o mo bitse a tle mo ntlong then o tlo bua le ene. But now my little sister will feel like nna le my dad re na le bond, so whatever I want to tell my dad, I'm very close with my dad. I can tell my dad. I remember my dad asked me that am I dating? At that time I wasn't dating. I think when I was in matric I wasn't dating. Like, no, if you're dating, you must just let us know. And then when I told him who I was dating, it wasn't nice because it was someone that he didn't like, But not because he didn't like, I only learned about this now that it's not that he didn't like my boyfriend. It's because where he used to buy his alcohol, that's where my boyfriend's dad used to buy his alcohol. So when he comes with his girlfriends and wants to do all those shenanigans there, my boyfriend's dad is a very outspoken person. And he doesn't take nonsense. So you would tell him that, you know what, if you're gonna do this, don't do it here with us, next to us. You know,
Because
go and
we
do
as
it there.
police,
Yeah, go and do it there, because I don't want my wife coming here and saying I'm also doing this. You know, and then that's actually how they started with this, resenting each other. And then, you know, men are men. You know, men have egos. So I think at the end of the day, nobody came to anyone and said, you know what, I'd like to apologize for this. You know, everyone was like, oh, this one and this one, they don't like each other. You know, so if you wanna drink with this one, you don't chill with this one, or you don't do this and that. You know, so I guess at the end of the day, he actually made enemies with everyone who knew what he does. And I didn't show him that I know what he does until I did. And when I did, it was hell. Living in that house was hell. At some point, I wanted to move out. Like, I was prepared to go to someone's bedroom and move in there. You know, that's how bad it was. Especially not getting support from your own mother. You know, our mothers can be very hurtful. You know, they can say very hurtful things. You know, and I think at that point, I felt like I'll always be alone. It'll always be me, because at the end of the day, my mom is married to this man. She'll always be loyal to this man, and my dad is not around, so I can't really say anyone can take care of me. You know, when you used to being hit, Mapuma, you know they're gonna hit you and they're gonna forget about it. With my dad, it was torture. That qualified psychologist, he would sit you down at 9 o'clock. Ne, to tell you crap. It starts at 9, it finishes at 2 a.m. You know what? You can't go to the cops and say you're being abused, because you're not being abused. They were talking to you. He would tell you about his life. He would tell you how wrong you are. You know, how you're hurting your mom. And then that meeting would start at 9 o'clock at night. Remember now, he comes home late. Maybe he'd get home earliest. It's 9 o'clock. Then my mom would be like, yeah, your daughter did this and that, did this and that. Can you please talk to her? The meeting would start at 9 until 2 a.m. I don't want to lie to you.
Now I would fall asleep on the couch.
You will never fall asleep. You know what they even do now? After 10 o'clock, we go to the bedroom. I sit on the chair. They sit in their bed. And then my mom would even pass out and wake up at 1:30, go to the bathroom and say, "But you know, because you know." And then that man would go on and on. And I only noticed after the third time that this is how this man tortures me.
Some sort of emotional
You know,
abuse.
it is, you know, and I think I sat there for like, it happened about 4 or 5 times. And then one time I left that house at 1 a.m. I left. I actually walked from A14 to East Park to my aunt's house. Because I was tired. I was very tired of this. I walked to my aunt's house. And then I remember when I told my aunt what happened. My aunt said, you know what, let's get some sleep and then we can talk in the morning. And then my aunt sent them an SMS and said, I know, I'm here, I'm safe. Because remember, now I can't go to my boyfriend's house. That's someone else's house. They have their own rules. I can't do that, you know. I can't, So I had to go to someone that I know I'm very close with, which was my aunt. I went to my aunt's house, we slept, and then when we woke up, she made me some coffee and then we talked. 5 minutes, my parents come in. The boy that is dating is working. He's done with his school, so he's working, and then this one doesn't want to do this and that and that. And then now, this is how it starts.
They act things like, on other people,
you know. And then my mom is one of those people. Eunice, when she's wrong, she's wrong. She knows that it's wrong. But if you're doing something wrong, she will not entertain what you're doing. You know? So that man will just put it in a way that this is what I'm doing, and hence. And then I remember my sister saying, "No, I think you should leave that boy. You should do this. You should do that." And that was the last time I went to my sister's house, because we're supposed to have a relationship. You know? I need to come to you and tell you that this is what's going on, you know. And then, you know, my parents made it look like I was with an older person. You know when she found out that he's only 2 years older than me, she even laughed about it and said, "You know what? I'm really sorry, because I remember 4 years ago I told you to leave him, you know. But I've never seen you complain, and I've always seen you happy." So at some point she apologized about it, but that's how I noticed that this is this man's type of abuse. And then after that, they stopped doing them. They stopped with the meetings. I think when I finished school, when I finished with I was studying electrical engineering. When I finished, I was sitting at home for about 6 months, and I got a very small learnership. When I started my learnership, it was paying about 1.5. It was enough for me to buy my own toiletries, so I didn't have a problem with that. And then Telkom called while I was busy with the learnership. I remember I didn't even have taxi fares to go to Telkom. And at that time, Telkom was not even looking for an interview. They saw my qualifications. They said, "Can you come? Can you work? Are you sure you're gonna hold a letter? Are you sure you're gonna do this? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah. Give us your copies. I don't have much time. I was almost an hour late. I don't know. You know how when God does things, God does things. But I signed my contract, and that day I didn't even have taxi fares to go there. Guess who gave me taxi fares? My boyfriend's mother.
Oh no.
Because I called my boyfriend. I said, "I think I might need your car," because my boyfriend was at work and he left his car at work and he went somewhere. So he's like, "You know what? Go to my mom." And I went to his mother. His mother gave me taxi fares. I called my dad because he leaves his car here in Ranfontein and he goes to work via the lift club. I'll explain the lift club part.
Ooh, I have an interesting story about the lift club. No, this podcast is going to be very long, and it's okay.
It's going to be very long. He had a lift club and I had the car spare key. So I thought, you know what, if this man says, catch a lift, you know, or use that money that because they used to leave money for bread, and I was not really that person who would eat, you know. If I had breakfast in the morning, I'd probably eat in the evening. So so I thought he was gonna say, you know what, take that money, come to Ranfontein, come and fetch my car, go there, come back. No, he said, I don't have money, and you can't work for Telkom. You know what Telkom is now, you know. And I was like, this man, it's like, what Telkom is, can I, you know what, then I told him that, you know what, at this point, I'm not asking you to go to Telkom. I'm telling you that Telkom called, I'm going to Telkom.
You're going to Telkom. Whatever.
I left, I remember I had to come here to make copies and go to the police station within an hour and certify my copies and take a taxi to Westgate. Then from Westgate I have to take a taxi that passes through on Deckers to get to Newlands. Then I had to walk there. You know, I went there. At the end of the day, Telkom said, you know what, on that Friday, they said, you know what, you're starting on Monday, because people already started on the 18th of January, and this is on Monday is the 3rd of February, so you can start there, and then this is the letter that you bring, that you're an intern, so just give it to the security, they'll take it to the manager, then you'll be sorted with your internship. I was very happy, you know, it was a breakthrough, especially getting a job that has to do with your career.
Right.
I was happy, you know. And when I came home, I was very excited. I told my mom, hey, I'm going to Telkom, I start work there. What I do? No, it's just an internship. It's a 12-year internship. This is what's going to do to my qualification, and then I'm going to be a qualified engineer. You know, I was telling my mom was very happy. And then he came home and told me, hey, Telkom. He said, let me tell you about Telkom. Telkom yao.
You
can't go to
Telkom.
Exactly, you know, he knows too much.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you know, it's true that you can't correct the teacher. I always say that to my aunt who's a teacher, that, hey, you can't correct the teacher because you guys know too much. I always say that to her when we disagree with something, because she'll be like, she's very stubborn, so she'll be like, no, I know. And I'm like, yeah, I know you know, you're a teacher. You are supposed to know everything, you know. And then when I told him about it, I was very happy. And he said, no, you can't go to Telkom. And I said, what is this man saying? I wasn't asking for permission.
Yeah, I'm going to
Telkom,
informing him why.
Yeah, I'm going to start my first internship. This is a breakthrough. If bands are permanent, I'm set. You know. And then he wasn't happy about it. Guess why he wasn't happy about it?
Why?
Internship and internship water and wastewater engineering.
Yeah.
Before because I was keeping busy, you know. Since Kisenanix, and if you have an engineering qualification, you could get really far.
Yeah, you could.
So my little sister, when she came, I told her, you know what, you need to tell us what you want to study. She said, no, let me study something this year, and next day I'll go and do my nursing. I said, okay, what do you want to study? I'll study water and wastewater so that you can help me. I said, I can help you with anything that has to do with maths and science, but at this point, what do you want to study? Then the dad was like, no, study water and wastewater. Study water and wastewater engineering. it's a new course, it's gonna pay, it's gonna do this. And then she was like, yeah, I'll do it. I said, okay, I'll help you. Then we went to go register, took her there and everything. So when I left that company, remember now, my little sister was supposed to finish her course. Then if I get a permanent post, I had to make a plan that she comes into the company.
Oh, okay.
That's why that man didn't want me to leave that company.
Oh, beneficial for. Oh my gosh.
Because
Nepotism.
nepotism is strong.
Nepotism.
Is strong. Is strong. I know. That's how things work at this point, you know.
Yeah,
That
but
nepotism,
Maraska
they
user,
become
I
fine.
understand.
But you know the fact that he didn't come to me and talk to me, you know. I'm no, not playing so. Why Anasavile?
Yeah.
You know why Telkom is not a good company. And I remember I went to Telkom. First week, and then I was the only girl on the interns. It was guys only. And then my supervisor said, you know what, since we only have one woman in the company, I think you should work with that woman. Then I know you guys, the club are free. You know? And I said, no, okay. But this woman was doing fiber optics. It's a very new technology. I'm a specialist because of her. She taught me everything she knows. I worked with that woman, but I was under pressure because I wanted. The guy is already here for the past 3 weeks. I need to catch up, you know. I need to know, yeah. And then I remember the first time, after 2 months, my supervisor gave me the baggie and said, you can go and work. I was so excited, you know, because you know when you have a baggie, you can have breakfast first before you go to work, you know. But when you work with someone and she says she wants to work, can't do anything about it. So I was very happy. And then my supervisor at that time, I know and he said, you know what, it's not safe for you to come and pack your baggie and go to the taxis. Take the baggie home. I remember when I brought the baggie home, he was like, can you go and drop me off at your uncle's place? And I said, no, I can't use the company baggie. He says, no, you can. I said, no, I can't use. Let's use your car. Let me cut the baggie and then we
drop
can
you
use
off with your own car.
And then when we got to my uncle's place, he told everyone that I came with the work baggie. Yeah, I came with the work baggie. And I said it next to my uncle that I remember you told me not to go to Telkom. Now you want to use Telkom's baggie, you know. And I made sure that he will never forget about it, because I think I mentioned it for like 6 months every day. We take a sign at Telkom, you know. And my mom was like, Andiswa, you know, it's enough, you know. It's enough. I think. And he was like, no, they're gonna take you permanent there. And I said, yeah, but not permanent, but you said Telkom, so it's not a good company after all, hey. And then one day he's like, you know, Telkom is actually a good company. And I'm like, oh my man, hey, I wonder who mang Ariel Omu respect it's a good company. Now things are supposed to change. Then he kept quiet. It was my type. It was a way for me to avenge myself, because I couldn't avenge myself for the things he was doing to my mom. So every time he would say something, I would just rub it in his face, you know. I told myself that as soon as I start working, I'm gonna help my mom out, because he used to remember now he has girlfriends what age so go to hey game it's David or so I was ask my mom, why are you even cooking every day? Because I don't need to eat home cooked meals every day. I can just have bread, you know. I can make a plan. Why do you have to cook for this man every day? And it was very painful, because now we had a very scarred relationship. Nali, my stepdad, we had a very scarred relationship. I remember he moved his bonus from July to December, because he wanted to blow money at December. You know, got July, bonus, my mom would be like, okay, or Rataila, okay, you know, and then they'll wait for February for my mom's bonus. So that December, he wants to blow money, he wants to have parties going through, he wants to. So I remember I set a trap for him. He was like, I keep bonus, you know, and at that time I was making a bit of money, you know, for myself, so I didn't care about his money, and I laughed it off. And then got December, he's like, you call it for 1,000, and then when he got paid, he's like 1,000. I wasn't home, and then when I came back home, he's like, no, we're now a berek, or 500. And I, you know, I really set a trap, and I was like, Mama, it's come push. So my mom thought, oh, how movie, because of Kim, she's my child, you know, she's not your child. My mom wanted to use that card, and I was like, no, yeah, leave it like that, you know. And then he didn't give me the money, and that was the best decision he ever made, because, but you know what, he was like, ish, And I was like, ish, to go to work. And you know, I think that was the last time I gave that man my money, and I was so happy because at some point I had to give him 100 rands because to make my mom happy, because now it looks like my mom would say, oh, and I'm like, he didn't, you know. Yes, maybe Namfadife, but he didn't, because before Kifeta Kosiaka, he stopped giving me my allowance, you know. Because I carry a boyfriend, and my boyfriend was working at that time. He didn't even need my money, you know.
Gosh.
So I just didn't understand what was his problem. But you know, when I left high school, my first day, when I was studying my first year, I go to it part-time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on weekends. So I used to use that money for my pocket money to do my hair and do all the other stuff. So he would be like, whatever I get paid from Shuwets, I shouldn't use it, I should save that money. So that when I get a job far, he used to say because I did engineering, because I got in mining. But I knew that it was not about working far, it was, you know, making sure that Nale that man, Nale my boyfriend, you know, will always be far. And then, you know long distance relationships at times. So that's what he actually wanted to do. So we had a problem with that money, because I was like, no, if I get paid, I work for that money, if I get paid, this is what I'm going to do. And he didn't agree with it. And you know what, he really started resenting me. I only noticed very late, Nalene will never be okay, because you know, after I introduced her to his girlfriend, you know, yeah.
Like, what did you think you were going to feel about
I don't know.
meeting the girlfriend?
Remember now, I didn't really have a good relationship with my mom. So I don't know, in his mind he thought I'd want to replace my mom with someone else. I don't know, maybe that's what he thought. You know, sometimes you get a taste of your own medicine. And I think that's what he got, because he thought he was going to manipulate us into doing things. But at the end of the day, staying too long at that school with kids, especially educational needs, and you become very close with them, somehow you're also going to lose it. And I think that's how it got to him. He started losing it. He didn't think straight, you know. His excuses were a lot. My mom adopted, I call him my brother because he will always be my brother. He adopted him when my dad was still alive. So when he left, I went to visit him and I asked him, why did you leave? Well, and then he's like, no, I didn't leave because of my girlfriend, Nazakli Chilling, your mom. I left because I started seeing things that your dad was doing. So when I started seeing them, he pushed for Ketsamai. So I felt like, you know what, if Ketsamai will give a piece of mind, hence I moved. And I didn't understand it until, you know it's bad. I speak to everyone, and I'm just a person who speaks to everyone, whether Ole Pantsola or you're a normal person. I speak to everyone. So every time I go to maybe go to Kokasi, maybe and then we talk, and then I don't know you, but we talk. And then people realize that I'm that man's daughter. Trust me, whatever they say to me, they'll choose what we say, because now they can't talk about him in front of me. But never and it's really not nice. I'm a very strong person, and I don't believe in proving myself to anyone. So I grew up playing soccer. I know most of the guys. I know only the girls that I grew up with. But I've always been a person or very private. You know, I enjoyed my space. So some people only find out like after a while. I mean, like there's a guy Odulan next door, only almost a year, and he only found out now that January for next door. Because and then he didn't know he actually said he thought he really because I'm just like that. So I think being a more private person into city, because of I didn't actually have to hear these rumors from this is what this man is doing. I don't want to go on and on, but I want us to get to the lift club.
The lift club.
The lift club. You can go first.
This is how it started. Yeah, in 17, petrol. And it's ladies, abakusiza ngepetrol. Why can you not find ama-gents abakusiza ngepetrol? And you know, lately what I realized is that using taxi is more efficient than using your car.
Yes.
Guys, he's always wanted a Benz. That's my dad. Gets that Benz. Suitable for his age. Stugu, I want people that are gonna help me with a petrol. Before how did they get to work? Like now you're buying a car for the society and not for us. And you know where it hurts, and it hits hard. When you have to do grocery and you have to use taxi.
Yeah.
Like the community enjoys koloi ya kwalona.
But we're not next.
When you have to go buy grocery, you use taxi. And that's where it all begins. Because Anya was to spend all these mornings and all these late nights and nothing doesn't happen. And I keep me. And you know, I was in grade 11 and I'm like, just rub it off.
Yeah.
He petrol. They keep transport with Dan. And with Dan, the agreement was that petrol. So gave him an excuse also, which you know was because I was never into like transportation.
Yes.
Just to avoid a lot of things. And that's where the lift club started. I moved to Res. And then some people like got into my place. They were trying to like take my laptop and stuff. So obviously my dad is the first person that I call.
Yeah.
Baba, bangenele esikolweni. Are you able to come uzongilanda because ngiyasaba, it doesn't feel safe, blah 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 blah. How? From the lift club somebody comes, and in my mind I'm like, if it's the entire lift club, why bangaphelelanga? Who's one? And he tries to fool you because our parents sometimes think that they're smarter than us.
Yeah, because we quiet.
And because I'm also traumatized, I'm going through my stuff. I rub it off. I'm like, it's okay.
You know.
And then later on, when I'm supposed to write my exams, those were like my first university exams. I'm getting a call from my mom, and apparently I was not even supposed to get that call. My mom, Eunice, when said I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I had because and whatsoever. Like sometimes when you're schooling, so which means when we are alone. And I understand it was coming from a place of hurt because I grew up admiring the relationship. It's something that I looked up to. You know, it's like one day, when I get married, like I grew up, I was my dad's best friend. But come home right now, my dad thinks I don't even want to talk to him because when he comes back home, I'm in my room, I'm busy with myself. I'm too busy to entertain somebody that doesn't have time for us. Firstly, you knock off at work at like around 5 and you're going to get home.
8.
No, 8 is too early. 10:30, 11. And when you walk in, we have to come and dish up for you and help you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was like, I'm not about that life. I am not. Now, and it gets to a point where you're like, that disrespectful child. And I'm like, no, I respect myself too much to entertain such things. And so my mom, Eunice, and like now I'm confused. I did not expect this. Say what? Roger, my dad. No, it cannot be. And so, oh my God, my roommate Kim knows it all. Like that day, I've never cried so much in my life. It's like, no, I don't think my roommate was not even sure what to do. And so I text my dad, I'm like, but why? And then he calls me, he's like, at first you were not even supposed to know because you're supposed to be busy with your exams. Like when your mom found out, I told her not to call you.
Why?
Like, but it involves me.
It involves you because you're
so I was supposed to they were supposed to like
be rosy, must be rosy,
so that I don't know and write exams. And you know, like some things happen to your life to put you to the next step. I'm saying a person I'm exams that year, like the way I've passed. Like even now, I'm like, why can I not pass like that term? You know, and you realize that you are so much stronger in life when you're going through stuff. Like that's when you see how much of a strong person you are. And it's just been like that. 5 years and counting. At some point this year, they were like, I'm like, yes, because all of this, my dad has always been self-employed all these years, and life was good. You know, when you're self-employed, you know you have to hustle. Your kids,
you have to make means.
And we were so happy, we were okay with him being that self-employed. And then I feel like Mudimo went to Kabomhor all these years and self-employed, because had he been like employed knowing Uguti,
Yes.
we wouldn't have grown up in a home that has a father. We wouldn't have grown up in a, you know, in a home that was so comfortable. But because Mudimo Ushabadi Pilo Sabatu and Wabona Hore, Ona Kamplesa Kantwena, Otoba Treshi, Eriki Mutime. And now we are getting to see that this man that I still call my dad, but occasionally, had he found a job so many years ago, I would be one of those kids, being fatherless. One of those kids, you know, because now we are getting a reflection of what could have really happened. And I think it got to that point where I'm like, Maugula ugule for 2 minutes because so push on a wheelchair. I need its own nosy, it's nice. And you know what that does? I don't care about people because they don't buy me anything. But how it affects my little sisters, I'm more worried about them more than anything else, because I feel like I've grown, I can take care of myself. I was able to leave them for a year, and the one thing that hit me hard was like, my mom is alone. She doesn't have anyone. I don't want her to lose me as well after losing something that was so precious to her, you know. And Mama, grade 5. When I left, and sometimes I just get so mad at my mama, and I'm like, why are you depriving yourself so much? You know why? It's like, I'm just doing it for you guys. And I guess I just have to respect that, because really, there's nothing that you can do. But I'm looking at my little sisters and I'm like, you're creating anger. Like, and you know, like, emotional problems are a huge thing. Like, being broken emotionally is bigger than anything else. It's bigger than physical abuse, because that's something that you have to grow up with. And I'm just thinking about it, they're even going to be scared to get into relationships because, or even get married, because if my dad was able to do this, even this person can be able to do that to me. I think even I, for the longest time, went resenting guys, like and I'll just hate that guy, because I'm like, you're not any better than my dad. You know, what is it that you're gonna offer me that is better? So I think it all comes back to your emotional being, your well-being, because you grow up as a broken soul. You grow up, you don't value other things. And I guess with my interview with Umamdoli last week, she was like, Eunice, we are growing you guys to be independent, because as a full university, we don't want you guys to go through what we went through.
Like, you can,
you know,
when something is broken, you can stand up,
you can stand up,
paka your things, paka your kids, go and still carry on without that person.
But
you know, like, what annoys me the most, I'm like, my mom has invested her time,
everything,
her entire being, and for it to crash after like what, 25 years? And I'm even having the same thoughts. I'm like, get married, and then after so many years, it crashes in your face. Like, what is it wrong with men? I know it's not all men, but it also kills your hope as one young. You're like, I don't want to depend on any man. And I guess that's where it gets scary. Even when your person wants to start taking care of you and you're like, no, so that next time you're going to wake up and be like, I've built you.
I'm exactly that person. Like, I have a problem with people wanting to do things for me. And they're like, why? I'm like, no, I got this. Because I've never really been like in a relationship. Like, you're my ex. No. I'm those, like you said, like I'm a very, like, resistant in a way. I am very resistant. I feel like some people become too good to be true. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I got this. I can do this myself, you know. I can, what? Or I'll phone Naila, no, I couldn't call you back because I ran out of airtime. I was like, no, I'll send you airtime. But I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'll get airtime for myself. Because I think I've experienced so many people, too much ownership. You know, so I try by all, and I'm not a very, I can move to all okupang when I don't have something right. As soon as I get, then I'll get it myself. I struggle with asking for help. I don't know if it's fear or I don't know if it's because I'm avoiding total. I wanted you, I did this for you, you wouldn't be this if it wasn't for me. And that's why I'm so grateful for him. Despite my father being super annoying and super, you know, he still pays school fees for us, he still does things for us, we still get educated by and not by another person's child. So, I don't know, I think their doings and everyone else's husband from my family and friends that I've seen, they've just made life very difficult for me because now I've absorbed all the things that they do and their sayings, and to me they're not very inspiring. And for the longest time, and I always tell my mom, like, you see what, all these things I'm gonna do for myself. I'll push. I think I am able to do things for myself. I'll push. I even postponed marriage for like years to come. I postponed having kids because I'm like, you know what, let me do things for myself. Then after, when I'm satisfied, when I want kids, when I want to get married, I'll do it. Let me decide about my own life, because so many people have sacrificed their life, gave up their lives to the man, and then you know. So let me live my life the way I want it, and maybe there'll be like a different outcome, and I'll be happy with the way I'm living my life. Because rough out here, it's
but this thing, when my boyfriend and I started dating, we actually asked me about 2009. He can tell you, it didn't even entertain him. He tried. There was a time he didn't speak to me. I don't know, Kwatela Motoyang, his girlfriend. Like, how do you even get there? And when we started dating in 2011, I told him, probably, once again, I have so many fears. I don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship. And I was writing my finals, and then he's like, okay, let's take it one day at a time. Just one day at a time. We don't look at being together for a year or being together for 5 years, but let's take it one day at a time. And we took it one day at a time, and I'll always say your parents will teach you how to treat your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I think he was taught, and because he saw it at home. His parents have been together since. I remember my mom telling me that she knows that his parents have been together since high school, and they're still together even today, and they're very happy. And I think that's what he was taught at home, you know, that this is how you treat your woman, and this is how life goes. You know, you build something with someone. You need to make sure that you know that you're gonna build something with someone. You need to know that, you know, you don't just decide that I want to be with her, then you're gonna go around and start cheating. You know, you need to learn to treat someone. And I don't want to lie to you, I've been very happy. I'm trying to think. I think this is our 8th year together. And honestly speaking, you'll always say that you're gonna be like those couples that just say, we've been together for 20 years, but we don't know how we got here because we always took it one day at a time. I remember when we started, when I got a job, oh wait, before that, on our first date, he's like your man,
I'm just like my man. Yo, we really not
if he pays for something, he pays for something. But before then, I remember on our first date, we got movie tickets. And I'm like, let me see those movie tickets. He's like, no, you swear, and then we took a taxi. I don't feel like always sleeping. Let's have voucher, I'm a popcorn, maybe cold drink. Get voucher. You didn't read it. I was so, why did that guy come for the ticket? And I laughed it off and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me buy the tickets. And then when I just served off his popcorn and he's like, no, we're not buying tickets. And then we had our first fight that day. It was like, you're not getting me tickets to watch it. I took you out.
And I'm gonna do everything.
And I'm gonna pay for everything. And I was like, no, this is not how it's gonna work. He's like, no, we are not. And I was like, okay, but I'm hungry now. He was like, yeah, I'll make a plan. And I'm like, no, I get it when you wanna do things for us, and I wanna do things for us. Right now, I'm like, it's already time. You know, like a pizza for next. No. And it's fine, let's postpone, we'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, okay, no problem. Then I went got there with the sky pizza. Then we bought juice and we set up a parking lot, they always stay. And he told me that was the most embarrassing day in his entire life, you know. But now he knows how to treat me. You know. He knows that if he can't do something for me, I'm not gonna wait for him to do something for me. I'm gonna do it for myself. You know? And every time he'll always be like, please don't get yourself something, I'm gonna get it for you. You know? And I'm like, no, I'll get it for you. Be patient, you know. And then I'll be patient, and then I know when he's gonna get it for me, he's gonna act like he's broke. That's when I know he's gonna get something for me. But it's like, ish, and then I know I'm gonna get something. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And
I think that was more like my first argument with him. Because it's like, when I need to an outfit, and it's because I am used to doing everything by myself. And I woke up this morning, I was like, I know that it's not like I'm even acting strong.
But that's
I was
who you
raised
are. That's how
to
you
be
were
that
raised.
way. Like, situations force you to be strong.
So
Situations force you to be like, no,
I'll do
you're
it
right.
myself.
You understand? Because now you get mad. I was like, we go to a place and I'm like, I'm gonna pay for this. It's like, give me that look.
Yeah.
It's like, Ganjani. I was like, no, I want to
do it.
you know. And he did not understand, but what he said later on is that he started accepting me the way I am, because that's who I am. And that's just the way it is. I'm not used to a guy giving me money, so I'm not about to start now.
I think
That has never been the thing. I'm not used to getting like your gifts, your roses and stuff. And I'm okay with it. You don't have to start now wanting to make me feel better. I am fine. Like, if I want to go watch a movie, I'm able to take myself out on a self-date. I don't wait up on the next person. And I feel like that's what people should start learning to accept.
And that's how you're gonna get respected in your relationship as well. He's gonna
I respect
know.
my individuality so much. Do what you like, I do what I like, and whatever portion that we have to do together,
we can do it together.
it's fine.
So it was always for him. He didn't like it at first, but he got used to it because I would tell him that this is what I want to do. You know, and he'd be like,
I started recording. It is.
Is it still recording? I used to tell him that this is what I'd like to do, and then he'd be like, okay, now we'll do it together. I'm like, no, I'd like to go and do it with you, but I want to pay. He'd be like, no, I'll pay. Then when we get there, I'll go and swipe it first. You know, pay for it first. I said, no, it's already paid. And then I remember when he got his first job. And he got his first job, he threw his money, and he gave me 1,500, and he said, Zah. And I'm like, get on guy on. He's like, see what you're gonna do. And I'm like, no, get sharp, you know. And then he's like, no, kahofa, you know, because all this time, and how, because you know, I gave out or something, because you didn't like it, I used to come with stuff. if I'm looking off and I want to get something, I just get it and I say, he take it in share, you know. And it's like, no, so you know. And I had to accept that, you know, okay, I think he's giving it to me out of love, you know. As long as he knows that he's not forced to do it, you know. He doesn't have to do it. I won't go looking around for someone else for I yet, you know. And then I didn't expect it every month, but I remember I'm playing wait another month no, I wasn't expecting it, you know. Then it's like, okay. And then the following month is like, test now. And I'm like, so this was a test. It's like, no, not necessarily like I told myself, but I just wanted to see when times are tough, what's gonna happen. And I told him that, you know what, in a relationship I always say teamwork. You know, it's teamwork. I don't expect you to do everything, but I expect you to sit down with me and tell me, this is what we're gonna do. But at this point, at that point, I was still working. I think he was buying his first car. I told him, not when we don't have a child together. I won't control your finances, but use your money wisely. You know, make sure you contribute. You just use your money wisely. And I don't want to lie to you. If I leave my card kokoloing, swipe card. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, my phone now. It's like, no, I can actually my phone now. We transfer the I'm like, it transfer it to you know, sometimes I just forget to tell them and say, and it's like, how did you get that? No, you take it in get some cutting out. It's like, okay, no problem. But I guess he knows that if he doesn't do it for me, I can do it for myself. And I think that's what built our relationship, because he doesn't tell me, okay, I don't want you to do this, I want you to do that. And if he knows now, I think he's gonna know. I'm not gonna stay when he's treating me like shit because of the children, you know. I think
are able to do your own stuff.
if I get enough, I'll have to leave that relationship since I'm getting healthy, you know, so that I can give him all my love. And I used to tell him, I remember when we had our first fight, a week after we had a baby. We didn't fight. Okay, I was always the one who was fighting when I was pregnant, because we used to keep quiet at Thoane. But our first fight after having a baby, it was because of tradition. And we disagreed. He said, and I was like, you know what, I don't know anything about babies. But at the end of the day, I don't want us into harm's way, you know. And then and I told him that because it's tradition. As much as local their babies I'll have to respect that, you know. But at this point, now we need to know that we have a child together. We're gonna raise this child. If at some point you're gonna leave me or I'm gonna leave you, which I doubt will happen. But if it happens, we must always put the baby first before anyone. And I told myself, tomorrow is not guaranteed. I don't know what's gonna happen with us tomorrow. I don't know if he's gonna leave me, if I'm gonna leave me, if God helps me, nobody passes, you know. But at the end of the day, I even told them that now it used to be me and you, but now the baby comes before you, and you should always know that. And he was very hurt. He's like, no, you're like a head, because I know at the end of the day you're gonna put your baby first before me, you know. And it was a very huge transgression. At the end of the day, you know, on the other room, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, like, no babe, I didn't like this, you know, because I'm not really talking much about our relationship, but this has taught me, I've always tried to rectify all the things that really going to our relationship, you know. If communication between these two people, you know, sometimes I'd like to complain about stuff, but I'm not gonna complain about stuff every day because it's gonna annoy him. He doesn't want to come home about to complain about this, about to complain about that. But if it's a burning issue now, I'm gonna talk about it now, and then how are we gonna tackle it? Because at the end of the day, I don't think nobody chooses to say you got cheated after 5 years. But people have issues. People who cheat have issues. My stepdad has issues of his own with his mother, and he'll always use his issues as an excuse.
For
And
what
blame
he's doing.
Nah, my mom was
Because of
rejected. Ke godisitswe ke bo rakgadi le
So
bo
now you have to go
mmangwane.
and look for love
So I don't
everywhere.
understand gore ga bo rakgadi wa go ba go godisitse o sa godiswa ke your mom. Why are you doing it to your wife?
Ke a believe gore mo-
Or papa ga gena se so, that's why I did it so. I don't know what are his excuses, because le ne ke motho wa di-lift clubs, ne motho a eba koloi ya medele, stinging medeme, founela my mom, o goga my mom, stinging ke bana me gore don't do that to yourself.
Hence, it's always important to find out who umuntu ukhule kanjani. And I always say
Exactly.
that on all my episodes.
And people be like, when you know, you know. Like, I want to propose me, you know me 2 months and I get married to you. Never. I'll never get married to Mutkimiti less than 5 years. I will not do that to my soul, because I need to decide. I'm not just marrying you. I'm marrying everyone. You have to
That
do
people who
that.
get married and then after some time people never find out odilo. You know, being with my boyfriend, I've found there are things that I've found out after my 5 years together. Did you find out? Oh, okay, this is what happened. And then, you know what? He's not gonna specifically come to me and say, "Hey, go high for today." But eventually, he's gonna talk about it. After a few years. At some point, you know. And I know what I'm getting myself into. I think people bajahile, you know.
People are in a hurry.
People are in a hurry. I'm not saying people shouldn't get married. I'll take Shona and Connie Ferguson.
They got married in 2 months.
I won't.
Exactly. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Because I know Shona once actually cheated on another one. Do you remember Sharon Wako Generation?
Yeah, I think you told
Unalo
me about
Mwana Lien.
that.
But happen, we don't know if Connie stayed because she
We
had a
don't
failed
know.
marriage before. Because Nanyete, that guy, the
The
famous
short one.
Yes.
Neoma Tsunya.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't act on some things because you don't want to be labeled as wena manyalo a gago a faith.
I think that's what I was telling you before
You don't
we
know?
started.
You don't know. You know?
People give you names according to who you
Exactly.
married or how your wedding was. You know?
Exactly.
And it's not nice. It's really not nice. I think, Bella, at the end of the day, no matter how you grew up, yes, you always have your own issues. But you shouldn't let your issues overpower who you are. You
Thole
know?
umuntu uphila kwatile athi because mina bengikhulula ngikwatile manje kumele uzokwatela la phezu kwami.
You know, my little sister, my stepdad's firstborn, she doesn't believe in relationships. Okay, 2 years ago she told me she doesn't believe in relationships. You know, and then Papa they're not close anymore. To a point where Papa didn't send her SMS because she used to decide. I don't know if Honali decide to go through, but my mom has never been a person who disrespected because of the things he was doing. If my mom taught us how to disrespect him, I think I would still be living at home. I moved out, actually. I moved out on Friday at home because I couldn't take it anymore. Because no matter what I can say, my mom will always be loyal
Right,
to me.
I'm also at that point of like, I'm inkinga zabanye abantu zibe yinkinga zabo.
Exactly.
Leave them to deal with it. I also have, but you know, life is hard
Yeah,
on
you know
itself.
what?
And you still want to burden yourself.
So I told myself that, you know what, but I'm leaving them. I told them that I'm moving out. And they were like, and I was like, oh no, I was asking my dad, oh, what did you say? Because I know he also lived Kohai and he wasn't married. Exactly. And then he's like, no, because then I don't want. And I told myself that, you know what, it might be wrong, you know, it might be wrong.
Those are yours.
I'm gonna put my child first.
Thank
you know,
Those
at
are
the
your
end of the
top
day.
ones.
I'm not gonna leave my child in an environment and I might be lucky. I found the other side of the stick where they were still happy, they still loved each other, you know. My little sisters are not seeing that, you know. My sisters see batho ba balwana every day, you know, khonali PC 2 days in a week. And I don't want my son to grow up in such an environment, and I'm not gonna pressure someone to marry me because of that.
And you know what I always say? Love begins at home.
It does, it definitely
Kunamahobo, and we tend to be like, but we don't know what is it that drove them away from their homes.
So
but it's because you cannot take it anymore.
I can't, and I'm not gonna say to my boyfriend, go and have your own apartment. Then I get a mover in my own apartment, and then we still have to share. Because I don't believe that a man should take care of the child only one. Maintenance. I also need to contribute for the baby, stuff like that. So I think it stopped recording. I think
you just read that. You were finishing off?
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day it affects you, and you also need to choose your own path, because you can't be a product of your own issues anymore. You also need to choose your own path. But this is where I wanna be, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And if you love yourself enough, you're always gonna put yourself first.
It was one very long episode. I wish I could give you one solution for pain, but that definitely works, but I can't. It is actually a process, and it is different for everyone. But what I can tell you is that you are a badass enough to feel your pain. Then you are a badass enough to heal your pain. I'm going to allow my guests today to leave their contact details just in case you want to get in touch. Maybe their Instagram handle if you want to follow them, or simply hit them up on Facebook for simple advice, or just in case you resonate with their stories. Do you have it?
Instagram handle is Tlotlo _Thoane, Thoane, and then Facebook Tlotlo Thoane. Twitter, I am on Twitter, Tlotlo Thoane, and contact details.
No, you don't have to leave your number, else you'll be getting calls left, right, and center. People being like,
yeah.
Mugel, what is wrong with you?
Okay, I'm not really big on social media, but you can catch me on Facebook, Andiswa Njoli, as it is.
To share a comment, suggesting an episode topic, you can hit me up on Eunice _TlInfidelity, and that is Instagram. You can also hit me up on Facebook. I go by Eunice Themba too. I also have a page which you can also like for all the recent updates and everything else. Unbecoming to Become can be found on Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. Until next time, let us continue to unbecome to become.